Hello, gold diggers. Welcome, welcome, welcome to season 2 of Gold Digger Diaries Live. I am your illustrious host, Felicia Rie. I'm the creator, executive producer, and host. And as you know, Gold Digger Diaries is about you. This is where we celebrate ordinary individuals who are doing extraordinary things in their work, their community, their businesses. We want to celebrate you. So tonight, I know y'all are waiting and waiting because you've been messaging and posting for our illustrious guest. And let me bring her to the stage. Our illustrious guest, Latrell Powerhouse Pickens. Hey, Trail.
Hey Felicia, how are you?
I
Hi
am,
everyone.
hi everyone. I am blessed beyond measure and really blessed now because you're here.
Thank you, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
But you had a screaming last week. Everybody, you have a number one fan. I want you to know, and I think he was very upset that you weren't here
Oh, thank you guys.
because they know you bring the sauce, honey. They know you bring the sauce.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I'm going to let you introduce yourself, Trail, and tell everybody about who you are. You are my friend. Look, I'm her sister outside the red and crimson. I'm her sister too, y'all. So,
So,
Trail,
hello
uh,
everyone. My name is Latrell Jackson Pickens. And just a little bit about me. I work full time. I'm a quality and I'm a safety manager. I'm also one of those fabulous independent consultants with Paparazzi Accessories. I'm the CEO and owner of Taste Pizzazz. So yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm married. I have three stepchildren. We have grandchildren. I'm an auntie. I love, love, love being an auntie. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm living my best life. And I'm going to live an even better life. So that's my goal.
all right. And what did you forget to say?
Girl, you talked about the Crimson and Cream, yes, and I am one of those Delta girls, one of those sorority girls. So I am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, y'all. Y'all gonna have to forgive me, my mind I got a lot going on, but I'm here tonight. I am so excited about being here tonight. I'm so sorry I missed last week, but I'm here tonight.
Look, everything's in the divine plan. You are here where you're supposed to be tonight.
You're right.
And I am super excited about what we're going to talk about, honey. We're gonna have some real talk tonight, y'all. We're
Yes,
gonna talk about purpose versus gifts and how your gifts relate to your purpose.
yeah.
So,
So,
Trail, the first thing I think we have to do is identify, make sure everyone understands what gifts are.
mhm.
And I just, your gifts are similar to your talents. They're natural born abilities. It's something you were gifted with from birth. So
Right.
it's not anything that's forced. It comes naturally. And like you said, we'll get into the deep discussion later, but there's some level of anointedness that comes with your gifts.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and then your purpose is what you're called to do. It's what you do. It's not necessarily your gifts and talents are used to fulfill your purpose.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, Trail, because like I said before we started, before we went live, what I'm seeing is a lot of people saying they're walking in their purpose, but they're really walking in somebody else's purpose.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think.
yeah,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think what happens is, when you're talking about your gifts and your purpose, a lot of times we're not patient. You're born with your gifts, and your gifts help you to fulfill your purpose. But a lot of times we're so busy, focused on what everybody else is doing, and we're not patient. because
Right.
sometimes you have to discover what those gifts are. You have more than one gift, um, but a lot of times we're not patient and we're so focused on what other people are doing that we lose focus on ourselves and what it is, what our purpose is, and what our gifts are. And we're so busy trying to, copycat others that we're not really walking in our gifts and our own purpose. And so a lot of times people get frustrated, um, because you're never satisfied, because you haven't discovered your own gifts and you're not walking in your purpose. And
Right.
sometimes you wonder why that struggle is real. And I'm not saying walking in your own gift and walking in your purpose is going to be easy, but sometimes we struggle unnecessarily because we're so busy trying to be somebody else when God called you to be someone totally different.
Exactly. And I think we have to come to a point where once we identify what our gifts are,
Mhm.
we're comfortable with that because what I know is what gift God blessed you with. Even if I tried to do it, I couldn't do it because He blessed you with something that's exceptional that only you can fulfill your purpose with
Right,
that gift.
right.
Like you said before, a lot of people can sing. A
Yep,
lot of people are artists, but is that their gift? You can
right,
learn to sing, you can
right,
learn to do art, you can learn to be a speaker, but is that your God given gift?
right. Yep,
And, and I feel like you got to operate in your God given gift to reach your maximum potential in your walking in your purpose.
exactly, exactly. When I think of gifts, I think, when you're gifted, there's a level of anointing that comes with your gifts. Um, and it's like, when you're gifted and you walk into a room, it's like, like you were saying earlier, your gifts makes room for you. And
Yes.
so there's not that struggle and that push that's there. So when you have that gift, sometimes it flows a little natural. It may not be like an easy thing to fulfill the purpose, right? Because nothing is going to be easy, but
No.
it just feels more natural. And I think sometimes when you're operating in your gift, and you're walking in your purpose, sometimes that passion is there that comes along with it too. And so a lot of that, to me, is all kind of tied together. You have some people, they're doing things, maybe because somebody else is doing it. Maybe that's because that's what they were told they should do, but that's not what they really want to do, or that's not even what their purpose is. um and they're not even enjoying it. So I
Right.
think when you're gifted, there's a level of enjoyment, there's a level of passion that also comes along with it too, and it feels a little bit more natural.
Yeah.
So even though there may be a struggle, even though it may not be hard, you still do it because that's
Right.
your purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. No matter what. Because, and a
right.
lot of us sometimes, and I've done it before too, you
Mhm.
look at the financial gain, the financial potential. You're so busy looking at, oh, well, if I do this, she doing this, then I know I can do it and I can make $10 million doing it too. Instead of looking at if you're walking in your purpose,
Mhm.
your gifts gonna make room for you and you're
Yep.
gonna make the money that you need to make anyway. The money will come.
Amen.
The
Right.
money will come. But a lot of
That's how
us,
people lose their focus.
that's how you lose your focus.
They lose their focus because they say, you know what, this person is doing it. And guess what? I can do it too. Yeah, maybe you can, but is that your purpose? So a lot of times you have to ask yourself that question. And sometimes we're so busy, we're focused on what others are doing. We lose focus on, what your purpose really is, which
Yeah.
is, after I'm not home and I'm out of town, and you know when we lost a family member, and that's why I am where I am now. And, I think about life is so short. Life is too short to be a counterfeit.
Yes.
Life is too short not to fulfill what your purpose is. Life is too short not to even walk in your gift.
Yeah.
And the thing about your gift is you're put on this earth with a purpose, not just for you, but for someone else. So when you're not walking in your purpose, someone is missing out. You
Yes.
know, uh, God gave us all a purpose for a reason, and it wasn't just for us. It was to help someone else.
Yeah.
So your purpose is tied to someone else. So when you're not walking in that purpose, someone's missing out.
Yes.
He put us on this earth as vessels, his vessels, to fulfill a purpose. And so when you're not focused on what your purpose is, somebody's missing out.
Yeah.
And life is too short. And I know as for me, I want to walk in what my purpose is, what God placed me on this earth for. Because that's why he placed me here. It's not all about me, myself, and I. It's about, me fulfilling the purpose that he designed me for.
Yes.
And we all have to understand and know that we're uniquely designed.
Yes.
And everything that you have, everything that you need, you have. Um, and so it's sometimes, it's hard when you're out here and you may see someone and what they're doing, and you're like, oh man, I can do that. But am I supposed to do that is the question.
Exactly. And that's
So
where a lot of us miss it. So, Trail, and you are walking in your purpose, honey.
thank
You
you.
are walking in your purpose. I love it. I love. I've watched you from when you. Do you remember the first time, the first girls trip we had in Kissimmee?
Mhm,
You remember that weekend? You remember
mhm.
how you were at a place where you had a lot of meditation time that weekend.
Oh
You
yes,
took
I
a
did.
lot of that's when I believe you were like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
And I will never forget that
yeah,
ever, because you
yeah.
said I just need some time to focus on me and focus on what I'm supposed to be doing,
hmm
and you
And
doing
it,
it.
yeah, and the thing is, that first girls trip. Um, a lot of people didn't know it when we went down there. I had just lost my job and never experienced a job loss in my life. So, God will take you to and through something to help you to discover what your purpose is. And, I was so busy and focused on so many other things, but he sat me down.
Yeah, yeah,
He sat me down, and sometimes you think but you're not sure. But sometimes you need that quiet time, that discovery time. I think with this whole thing that happened with COVID, a lot of people were able to discover their gifts and their talents, and what their purposes
yeah.
were. And you never want to go through anything like that, but you always have to look at the bright side of everything. A lot of people discover, what their purpose in life was.
Oh
And
yeah,
so, and now because you've discovered what your purpose in life is, you're able to help other people who need, what it is that you have to offer. Um, and so, what, you're exactly right. It was a hard time, but it was a time that it needed to happen in order for me to really understand what my purpose was, and
yeah,
what my purpose is. um
yes. I will never forget that. And I just
yeah.
watching you from then to now is like, um,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. And sometimes your purpose will scare you, and that's another thing I think for people is you think to yourself, how am I going to do that? You know, and then you kind of talk yourself out of it. But what you have to understand, like we just said, is you already have everything you need.
Yes.
in order for you to fulfill your purpose. You may have to discover some of those things. You have to trust God that, you know what, every whatever you need, you already got it.
Right
You just
there.
need to walk in what your purpose is.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to stop overthinking, because a lot of times we talk ourselves out of our purpose, and comparing. We
Yes.
compare ourselves, and I should be here and I'm not here, and mm,
Because everything happens according to the plan of the
yep,
Creator.
divine, divine.
Yeah. So, Trail, what are your goal nuggets for those who are struggling in identifying their gifts in order to walk in their purpose? How do they? Maybe they don't even know what their purpose is. What do you recommend that they do to identify? First, I feel like the basic thing is to sit down with yourself and say, I'm gifted at this, I'm gifted at that, I'm really great at that. Or what do you recommend that people do?
I think, like what you said, a lot of times we don't take the time to stop, and we don't take the time to listen. And that was me. I was always so busy doing something. And sometimes you're so busy you're missing out, because we don't take that time to really sit down and discover ourselves, and recognize what our talents are. And sometimes you just need to take that time for you. That's that self-care time, that time, that meditation, and prayer and meditation. And on that trip I did a lot of praying, and I did a lot of meditation. And even though we were on a girls trip, like you said, I spent a lot of time to myself.
You
But
did.
we don't do that.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're busy with work, we're busy with the kids, we're busy, with life, and we don't take that time, that time to sit out and discover. And so when I was able to take that time to pray and to meditate and to ask God, Lord, I'm here. It was a scary time. I trust him, but it was still scary. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm supposed to be going. And I walked away from a job that I was happy with. I was happy with my job, but I walked away from the job because it was an awesome opportunity that was presented to me. And so the funny thing is, when I got to where I went to, I didn't like it, and I prayed. I'm like, Lord, I need you to do something different. Either I'm gonna walk away, or either they need to let me go. And so that's what happened. And so when I went on that girls trip, and I wasn't gonna go, I was like, I just lost my job. What I look like going on a girls trip? I'm gonna spend money. I just lost my job. I don't know when I'm having a job. And although we have money, set to the side and put to the side, I don't want to basically take this money for this trip that I can be just holding on to. But, when I talked to my husband, he was like, go on a trip. You need to go on a trip. And so I think, when you're trying to figure out what your purpose is, you need to, sit down, take some time, some quiet time. Because a lot of times we're so busy, we're not listening. And when you want to hear the voice of God, um, you need that alone time, that quiet time to listen. And that's exactly what I needed. I needed some time to keep still. And a lot of times we don't keep still. We're busy. And we're busy, which, are you busy fulfilling your purpose, or are you busy doing other things? And so if I'm going to be busy, then I want to be busy fulfilling what my purpose is in life. um
Right.
Especially as I'm getting older, I definitely want to be walking in my purpose. And so when you take that alone time, that meditation time, and you're praying and you asking God, he will show you. He will
Yeah.
show you, and you just have to trust it. But you got to keep all of that noise and those distractions if you really want to know what your purpose is. You got to keep those away, and take that time to spend, and you will discover what your gifts are and what your purpose is. And when that discovery happens, you'll be like, wow, your mind will be blown because, everything that's happened was a part of the plan, and then you'll look at yourself and you'll be like, wow, that was my gift all along. It was there all along.
Right.
Everything that I went through was for a reason in order for me, to walk out and to fulfill my purpose and to discover what my gifts are.
Yes,
So I hope that makes
absolutely.
sense.
That makes sense, honey. That makes sense. And
Yeah.
I just encourage people, to do the same because I talk to people all the time, Trail, and I'm sure you do too. And they're like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't
Mhm.
know. Well, be still.
Yeah.
Be
We
still.
don't know how to be still.
Be
We
still
don't want to.
and stop watching other people
Yeah.
trying to make that their purpose your purpose because
Yeah.
their purpose might not be your purpose.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
be still and listen.
Yeah.
Listen. So I encourage everyone to, share this with the everybody when people walk up to you and say, "Oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing." Share these gold nuggets with them. Share this recording with them and sit down. If you don't know uh, what your gifts are, please sit down, take some time, and just write out the things that you're very good at,
Yeah.
things that come natural to you,
Hmm.
the things that you probably have multiple gifts. I believe we all have multiple gifts that we don't ever tap into,
Yeah. I
ever.
believe that too. I do.
So just sit down and just write a list, make a list.
Mhm. And yeah, and you have to spend that time. You have
Yeah,
to. And a lot of times we don't want to, because we're busy doing everything else, or we're busy trying to be somebody else. But and I know for me, until I not really sat myself down, until God really sat me down, because it was like, okay. And at that time of meditation, I cried, and it was a lot. But
wow,
when we left Kissimmee, I was like, you know what? I know. I know.
yeah,
I know. It comes clear.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was I knew that when I can't even express how uh how that feels from seeing you at that point to and see a part of my purpose was bringing that together.
Hmm.
That was part of my
Exactly.
purpose.
Exactly.
That was a part
Exactly.
of my purpose. I get that now
Yeah.
because the way that came together and the people who came together and were still connected,
Hmm.
that was God. That was not me at all.
And
That was
I'm
not
an
me.
introvert, so that was the other thing. I was like, I don't know no one that's really going on this trip. You just try to talk yourself out of everything. And I was like, no, I'm not going. I know Felicia and I knew Ashley and I knew Deanna, but I'm like, I don't know nobody else. And
Yeah,
I'm not, I'm an introvert, so I'm like, I don't know. But
yeah,
something just nudged me, and nudged me, and my husband was like, no, go. And I
yeah.
was like, you know what? And that's the first time, Felicia, I had ever done anything like that. I'm like, I don't
Wow.
travel with people I don't know like that. But you know what? I am so, so glad I did because,
Yeah.
the group of women, oh my gosh,
Life changing.
life changing.
Life changing.
My sisters.
We needed that to be where we are today.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
look at all the things that even outside of the trips,
Yeah.
connections that we made. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness.
Yeah.
Girl, God has a plan.
Yeah. He does.
God
And
has
he,
a plan.
yeah. And I think the other thing when it comes to purpose too is, you know, don't be how do let me just shoot it straight. Don't be jealous of somebody else's purpose and what they're doing.
Yes.
God gives us all a purpose. And a lot of times, that jealousy will set in, and sometimes you're connected to someone's purpose to help them. If you're connected to somebody's purpose and you should be helping them,
Right.
help them. You
Right.
know, um, it breaks my heart sometimes when I see that happen. We let things set in and we don't want to help each other, or we knock each other down, or we badmouth each other. When someone is walking in their purpose, I can say this: no matter what you say, if that's a God-given purpose, guess what? They're gonna fulfill it.
Whether with
And,
that,
and
whether without you.
with or without you, with or without you.
And that
Um,
happens so much, Trey.
yeah,
It is very hurtful.
yeah, it is. Um, because I'm a believer. What God has for you is for you. And if I am connected to anyone's purpose and I'm supposed to be there to help them, then that's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to do. And because I understand with or without me, guess what? They gonna make it.
Yeah, yeah.
They gonna
And
make it.
the thing is, we don't understand the connection and how helping someone with their fulfill their purpose helps us fulfill ours. Everything is
Mm,
connected
yes,
because
yes, yes.
you can call me anytime, and I'm like, what you need? What?
Right.
That we should be that way for
Yeah.
people who are walking in their purpose and trying to walk in their purpose.
Hmm.
But we get jealous. Oh, well, she need this. Well, I ain't doing nothing because she can't be better than me.
Yeah.
And that mentality is
Woo.
I cannot stand it.
Me either. Me
I
either.
cannot stand it. I
Me either.
can't
Me
because
either.
you're not gonna walk in. You're not gonna operate at your full potential when you do that.
No, you're not.
You're not gonna. You're not going to.
You're really hindering yourself. You're hindering yourself. And
Exactly.
so I'm
Ex-
like, so I try, my best to be that person. And that's a part of, my purpose is, help.
Yeah.
Um, to help people as much as I can.
Yeah.
And and so there's no room for jealousy. Because I know what God has for me is for me, and what He has for somebody else is for them. And so when we walk with that thought process, and I think a lot of times, we don't have that mindset that there's room for everybody at the top. We have that mindset that, oh, if she make it before me, then no, there's room for everybody. There is.
Everybody.
There
Every,
is. Stop putting limits on God. When you know who God is, there's no limits. That's why there's room for everybody on top.
say it again, Trail. Say it again.
There is absolutely. So, stop putting limits on him just because you may not, we have our own limits, but when you're trusting in him, no, you know what? Pray for your sister, pray for your brother that God is able to take them to where it is they're supposed to do and fulfill their purpose. Um, that's what we should be doing for one another, praying
Absolutely.
for each other to fulfill that purpose. Because, like you said, we're all connected some kind of way.
We
No, you
are.
you're connected to some kind of way. So, but yeah, that's one of the things that breaks my heart when we do that to each other. Um, so
We have to
there's no room
stop.
for that.
We have to stop.
We do, we do, we do, and you have to believe, and I think that's the thing that puts that spirit there is we don't believe that there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
If you want it, now let me tell you this: you got to work. You have a purpose, but there's work in walking in your purpose.
Oh, hard work.
There is work in walking in your purpose. Um,
Hard work, baby.
it's not going to be something that's going to be easy. And there's, work when it comes to your gifts. Because one thing, about the devil, he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And when he knows that you have those gifts there, trust me, is the battle not going to be easy, but you just got to trust
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely, honey. Absolutely. So, Trey, I got one last question for you. You know what it's going to be.
What you got, Felicia?
But I'm going to change it up a little bit. So, as we close, thank you all for joining us. I didn't see any comments. That's odd because there was several people here, but I hope nothing's. If you guys commented, I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
Girl,
But
we
thank you
just
for
said that we
joining
put right
us.
in front of each other.
But Trill, two things I want you to do. I,
Okay.
I'll let you put the plug in for Taste of Pizzazz first. I put your link in the comments so everybody, Taste of Pizzazz website link where you can order fabulous jewelry. Yes, fabulous. It's the link is there. So Trail, tell us about Taste of Pizzazz, and then I will ask my last question.
So as I stated earlier, I am one of those fabulous independent consultants with Paparazzi Accessories. I'm the CEO and owner of Taste Pizzazz, where I am serving up this fabulous jewelry that is great for every and all occasions. Let me tell y'all, this $5 jewelry will make you feel like $1,000,000, but you don't have to break the bank at all. It is definitely something I absolutely love doing. And what I like about paparazzi is I love the mission statement. I love the fact that, paparazzi is allowing me to be the village. Many of you know my story. I joined this business simply because I wanted to pay tuition for my two grandnieces. Unfortunately, their father was killed when they were one wasn't born and one was 5 months. And so my family made that commitment that my niece and her girls weren't going to have to want for anything. So paparazzi is allowing me to change my family life, and it's also changing the lives of so many people. And it's an absolutely amazing business. And I'll be the first one to tell you this too. Paparazzi ain't for everybody. Entrepreneurship, period, is not for everybody, but it is definitely a way for me to be able to change my family life, and it's also changing the lives of so many other families around the United States. So it gives me the flexibility that I need. And so I'm just looking forward to, paparazzi continuing to allow me and my family members to live our best life. So that's Taste of Sass. And you definitely can shop with me online. I have a website. I go live every Tuesday. I didn't go live this Tuesday because I'm out of town right now, but every Tuesday I go live. So, and it's just some beautiful jewelry that's of great quality, and it just blew my mind when I actually saw the jewelry for the first time. So that's Taste of Pizzazz. I'm absolutely loving this business.
Yay! Thank you, Trail.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
thank
You're
you, thank
welcome.
you. And yes, I'm wearing Taste of Pizzazz tonight. Upright
Mhm.
earrings.
And doesn't she look
I
fabulous?
look
Yes, she
fabulous.
does.
So yes, guys, you can find the link in the comments.
Mhm.
So Latrell, my last question is,
Okay.
what would your last year self tell your this year self? I don't want to give your age.
So you said, what will my last year self tell my this year self?
Yep.
Keep going. A lot of times, things get tough. Um, and we sometimes we lose focus, right, on the distractions will cause you to lose focus. But at the end of the day, when you know what you know, when you trust that man upstairs, you have to keep going. When you have I'm a firm believer that God is not going to give you a vision that's not going to come to pass. I just
Mm,
believe that. I don't think he would give you a vision that's not possible.
amen. I believe
So a lot of times, we lose focus, we get distracted, and so just I would just tell 'em, girl, keep going.
keep going.
Life is going to happen, and a lot of times, unfortunately, because life happens, people quit, they lose focus, they get discouraged, and they stop believing. But you can't quit, you can't stop believing, and you can't lose focus. But
Mm,
I will say this: if you do, guess what? There's always a restart. Always a restart.
absolutely.
Always. So if you had these goals and these visions. If you were walking in your purpose and you lost your way, guess what? What did Donnie McClurkin say? We fall down, but we get
Oh,
up.
we get up.
Let me tell you, you hit that
Mm,
restart button and you start where you left off, or even if you have to start back over, start over.
yeah, yeah,
There is so much out there for us. God wants us to live our best life.
yes.
And a lot of times when life happens, we lose that focus. But guess what? Don't quit. And
Don't.
even if you did, restart.
There you go.
So I would tell myself, keep going, don't quit. And a lot of times I do have to tell myself that. This past January, girl, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was hard. Meditation and prayer
Mm,
and my circle.
yeah. Yeah.
You have to surround yourself with a circle of people who are going to pray for you,
Yes.
pray with you, and root you on.
Yes.
If you don't have a circle of people who are praying with you, for you, and rooting you on, that ain't the circle you want.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
not the circle you want.
Not at all. Mm,
I have friends. I can say, listen, send a message. I don't even have to tell them what's going on. I need you to pray. I know who to call on.
yeah. Yeah.
I can pray for myself, but sometimes you need that agreement with you.
Yes.
Those friends and family members to touch and agree and to pray with you or pray for you. And people who can pray when they can sense that something's going on with you, and they just send the prayer up without you even calling.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell myself. Keep going, don't quit, and make sure you stay in that right circle.
Yes.
Thank God my circle hasn't changed.
Thank God it
I
hasn't
have
been
a good
out.
circle. But
Yes.
you got to know and understand when you outgrow that circle, because sometimes that will happen. Um, but that's what I would say. You got to keep going. And if
Yeah.
you stop, restart.
Restart.
There's nothing wrong with restart. And I think a lot of times people, they're like, well, I stopped and I didn't finish. And, no, stop making excuses. If
Yep.
you stopped and you didn't finish, go pick it back up.
Exactly.
Restart again. Never too late to restart.
Yes.
Never.
Wow. Well, I love
Never too late.
restart. Restart, honey.
Restart.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
Well, I thank you so much for taking time to join me in the gold mine tonight.
Thank you, Felicia. I just want to say, this right here platform is absolutely amazing. And I said this before and I will say this again. I don't look at TV. That's one of the things it's my personal decision. I know a lot of people do, but it's my personal decision that I don't look at TV. Every once in a while I may catch the news or whatever, but sometimes for me a TV can be a distraction, but that's me. That's my story.
Yeah.
Um, but I love the fact that I can tune in to the gold diggers and I can be encouraged by ordinary people who
Or,
are doing extraordinary things, because it's easy to watch a celebrity, and this is where people get discouraged too.
right.
What,
Yeah.
what are you watching? So
Yes.
I can connect with somebody who is ordinary. I may not be able to connect with a celebrity, but when I see someone on another entrepreneur on your show and they're killing the game, that encourages me.
Yeah.
That inspires me. Like, you know what? Let me get on here and do my thing, because I'm a firm believer that what God makes happen for somebody else, He can make the same thing happen for you. Now, you ain't got to copy them, but you got
Yeah.
to trust the fact that He's no respecter of person, and He
Right.
wants all of us to live our best life. So when I watch other, sisters, and I watch other entrepreneurs, and I'm like, you know what, they're killing this game, but you
Yeah.
know what, I can kill the game too. But if I
Yeah.
want to kill it, I got to do the work.
Yeah.
And I gotta have my faith. So I can't just be out here saying I want to do this and I want this to happen, but I'm not putting in the work. And so I can appreciate, a show like Gold Diggers because it keeps me encouraged when I see other people in their, succeeding and they're entrepreneurs and they're out there and they're working hard and they're ordinary people just like me, but they're doing extraordinary things and they're putting in the work and they're sharing their nuggets. That's what we need.
Yes.
And so, to be perfectly honest, sometimes instead of us to tuning in to some of the other stuff, we need to be tuning in to gold diggers so we can learn how to mine these, dig for these goals, and get some gold.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
absolutely have it, but sometimes you're tuned in and you're connecting to the wrong thing. Yeah, I said it.
Yep. Yep. You said it. You said it. Oh,
Sometimes you're tuning and connecting to the wrong thing. And so this show definitely keeps me encouraged and inspired. And I just absolutely love it. And I know for sure this right here is one of your purposes. And you're walking in it. And from the time I met you and to watch Felicia in all of your creativity and how
girl.
you just make all of this stuff happens, it keeps me inspired and it keeps me going. And I just thank God that He put you in my life because everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
The first day I met Felicia, I'm like, I would not have thought that this many years later, I'm like, wow, this my chica.
Yeah. Right.
This is my girl, and we're connected,
Oh.
divinely connected,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I appreciate this because it's needed. There's so much negativity out there, so much spitefulness, so much division, and I love how your show just brings us together. It encourages, you know, for us to stick together, for us to work together, for us to inspire each other, for us to live our best life, to us to be fearless.
Yes.
Um, and
Yes.
so it has definitely been helpful, for me, because sometimes when you're going through life, sometimes you lose focus.
Yeah.
Um,
You do.
but this helps you to be like, you know what, girl, she's doing her thing. Let me tune in and get some inspiration. And it definitely does that. And I so appreciate it. And if
Oh.
they're not tuned in, honey, they're missing out. They're missing out.
Well, thank you, Trail. That's so you got me over here about to cry. You know I can't be getting emotional now.
I know, I know, I know.
But I appreciate you for encouraging me because you're one of the reasons I'm continuing to do this
Yeah,
because
I love it.
the first time I did it, I was like, okay. And you were like, no,
Mm-mm.
you got to do this.
You
You
gotta
got to
do
do
it.
this. So
You
I
gotta do it.
appreciate that encouragement. And I just want to just inspire people.
Yeah,
That's all I want to do.
yeah. Right.
Inspire and encourage people to be bold, to be fearless, to inspire, to be inspired by whatever it is that inspires them, and to take
Right.
their lives to the next level,
Yeah.
to walk in their purpose.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And know that you can. You
And know
absolutely
that you can,
can.
and know that
And
you can.
but
All
it's
right,
about
Chica. I gotta go to Latrell's house now, so
thank you. And that's what you call a true friend. That's what you call a true friend. I appreciate you, Felicia.
oh, I appreciate you too, love. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. And join us next week for a very special guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but they're
Ooh, I
special.
can't wait. I can't wait.
All right, guys. Be encouraged to be bold, be fearless, be inspired, but most of all, be great. Okay?
Great.
Good night.
Good night.